One question that I have is basically focusing about the theme that we've all been talking about here. With Do we know? Have you had any conversations with the governor's administration or New York City, the mayor's administration, or your local municipalities about how the administration's plan on supporting small businesses, especially those businesses owned by women and minorities? And one thing that I really think we haven't touched on yet is those types of businesses with the MTA, because I know that there was a strong model there where we were trying to keep that aligned. Has there been any conversations in that direction? And it's open to anyone on the panel, please.
I would say one thing that would help us out in the East End is that there really isn't a chamber of commerce, a Hispanic chamber of commerce out here in the East End of Long Island, with the kind of wealth that flows through here, the kind of workforce that we have, and the businesses that are owned by Latinos, obviously, that we do need to have something like that in place. So I'm hoping on this panel and with anyone listening that we could start taking a look at that, because that is sorely lacking.
Well, I can talk to you about that. Once we're off the panel. Mm-hmm. I have been just recently elected as the chair of the Coalition of Hispanic Chambers, New York State Hispanic Chambers, just to build the different chambers in different different geographical areas here in New York State. So I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. And in reference to the MWBE, I sit on the task force for, not the task force, the advisory committee for the mayor. And yes, we are working on just trying to get more especially MWBs that have products and services that they can sell right now to the city and to the state, and also reaching out to those that are not MWB certified to get them certified so they can start the process of selling to the city and state. But what we want to see, to be honest with you, more of is also the financing piece. That is key, because if you don't have the financial means, if you don't have the capital, even if you have a product to be able to sell, you can only go so far. So you will not be able to purchase the amount that you might need to purchase, or that the city or the state needs, because you don't have the capital. So we also need to work around that, just having more funding for our MWBs.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm going to shift focus a little bit here into the Department of Labor at the state level. I know that we've all been hearing about unemployment issues. Specifically, I was looking to see how many issues you've heard from in the minority workforce, women and people of color. But also, have you heard anything about initiatives that the Department of Labor may want to refocus and retrain people to re-enter the workforce? I think that's a direction that we're going to have to go towards when we start losing jobs.
I have not, but one of the things that I proposed when I was doing my testimony was training people in those fields that we're beginning to see a demand on, like in the healthcare industry, for instance. That's one of the things that I think would help a lot. And we were talking about women at that time, but I think it's not only women, but to the entire population.
Anybody else on the panel have anything to add?
I think we have BOCES out here, Eastern Suffolk BOCES, vocational programming. I think taking a look at what they'll be able to offer as well, knowing that a lot of our students right now at the high school level are really suffering. A lot of Latino students without full capacity of English, full proficiency in English. There could be some other ways that we look to give folks some opportunity out there and sort of re-engage at a new level so that we can thrive out here and not just be hobbled by all of this, all the crisis that's happened.
And I think that we can put that, if we have time, we can put that issue on the table for our business leaders task force, because we have all the major employers in Buffalo that's on this task force, and they can maybe use that as another initiative that they can kind of work with So that's an excellent suggestion. We should put that on the agenda for them to consider how we can retrain and get people back into the workforce. Thank you for that, Assemblyman Reilly.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all
Thank you.
your input.